Why is it when I sit? So when I stand, I need the last buckle. When I sit,
It's because we squish, like everything gets compressed. Our stomachs bulge out.
okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to season 2 of Otaku and Friends. This is our second episode of season 2, and today we're talking about the death of KissAnime.
Yes, we are.
It's something which is very important, especially for just general anime fans and anime fans in our region, in Zambia, in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah.
So you have some questions, I guess. I have a lot to say on the topic because it's something that's been on my mind for a long time. So I guess let's follow a structure so I'm not rambling.
Yeah, it's just, like Dennis said, it's just, I know it's a very controversial topic, but it's a bit. But I mean, there's us and them. Very much like in the anime fandom, there's us and them. There's the people who are privileged to be in regions where the anime is readily available to them, and then there's us who literally have to do the most questionable things to have access to some of our favorite anime. So yeah, I've just got a few questions just to guide us so that we're not rambling like you said. And yeah, let's get started. First and foremost, what was KissAnime?
Okay, so KissAnime was a website, a streaming website for anime.
Yeah.
So they would collect different fan subtitled anime and put them up online for everyone to stream. I believe you could even download some at a certain point.
Yeah, you could download.
But I think you needed to sign up or something to download. I don't recall.
You didn't.
You didn't? Oh, okay. I used it a long time ago because I remember you had to be a member, but you didn't have to pay anything.
No, it was free.
Yeah, it was free.
And KissAnime had so many other platforms like Kiss Manga. There was Kiss Asia for Korean dramas, Japanese dramas, Chinese dramas, and there was Kiss Cartoon as well for just cartoons like Adventure Time. I remember Justice League is there. Everything. They had everything. I guess it's the Pirate Bay of the nerd community, I feel.
The Pirate Bay / Netflix version of nerds media.
Yeah, whatever you're into, the Kiss people had you covered.
Yeah. So it's important to note that it was not a legal site. So it was, they were getting shows or some movies even from legal sites and re-uploading them on KissAnime for free. They would get revenue via ads on the site, and there were a lot of ads.
Lots of lewd ads as well. And I think that was the most annoying thing about the website was the ads. They were so intrusive. If you ever made a mistake and clicked on one of them, you would be 10 windows would open around you. So you had to be very careful. But for a really long time, it was the only access for a lot of people in Zambia and probably the rest of Africa, and I think some parts of South America as well.
South America and some parts of Southeast Asia.
Yeah, to have access to anime.
Yeah, and I feel like that's an important aspect to
note before you come with your pitchforks.
That's an important aspect to take note of because we are aware that this anime or these products exist, and we will pay for them if they give them to us.
If they give us the opportunity.
Netflix is doing very well here. I was very skeptical when they announced globally that they were expanding. I was like, are people really gonna? Our internet here is expensive.
Yeah.
Our broad internet is expensive, but it's kind of like paying for your phone bill. It's something that you just add extra. It's not like a headache here. Here it's a luxury. But Netflix is actually doing very well here.
Yeah.
Quite well. So when you give people access, they will consume. Like that's just that's how it works. But we have very little access to most of these nerd media, and KissAnime was like the easiest way to access them. If someone came to me and asked me, hey, I want to watch this show, where can I watch it? I'm like, well, I could tell you to torrent it, I could tell you to use a VPN or whatever, all these funky ways, or I could just say just go to KissAnime and watch it through that. It was really simple.
You know, another thing, guys, I don't think the rest of the world understands the privilege that they have. I mean, here we can only speak for Zambia, to be honest, and I'm sure we relate with other African countries as well. We are a lot of us that love anime, okay? And you know, guys, even Crunchyroll, like legitimate sites that we are willing to pay for, a lot of the things are not available in our region. I mean, I registered for Crunchyroll and I wanted to watch My Hero Academia. It wasn't available in our region, and I was just like, okay. And I know a lot of you will be like, VPN, oh my god. We don't have money to pay for the VPNs because those guys, $1 in our country is 20 kwacha. Okay? We do not have the resources to start paying for VPN services, you know, and you know, it's a luxury, like Dennis said. Just paying for the actual internet is hard, and I wish that I understand in Japan, you know, fair use is not a thing, you know, so it's very, and there's a lot of, they have very old company execs.
Very strict laws.
Yeah, they've got very strict laws, very old company execs. So when you go to them and say, hey, there's this market in this place, it would take even 10 years for them to approve something. You know what I mean? So that's why I guess it's really hard for them to expand into other regions. I think in the last few years, that's when America has been given access to anime because they really believe that there's a market for it and whatever. So that's why they have access to anime readily on all these platforms.
Even then it was a bit weird because they thought, oh, they like cartoons, but they like the Western ones. So for a long time they were making anime for America.
Yeah,
you know,
like cowboy people.
Yes, so it's like, okay, those are good.
Very good, yeah.
We just like no more anime.
Yeah, we like everything.
Just give us the stuff.
We want all of it,
yeah.
like from slice of life to shoujo, seinen, whatever, everything.
Yeah. So it's like now is when they're finally getting it. Now is when they finally have access to. As an American, it's very hard for you to say I can't access this just a click away, just one click.
Yeah.
Either you go to Amazon Prime, you're gonna watch Vinland Saga. If you go to Netflix, you go to a large list. If you go to Funimation, which we can't, guys.
Funimation. When I was in university in the UK, I had access to Funimation and I was so excited. I binge watched so much anime on Funimation on YouTube, you know. When I came back here, I was like, oh my god, let me pick up where I left off. This content is not available in your region. I was like, excuse me? Like, why? You know, and it's very frustrating. So for a very long time, I felt like, what am I going to do? You know, because in Zambia, I guess most of us, the first access we had to legal anime was Animax. You know? When that was taken away from us, we were all just left destitute, like children on the side of the road. Like,
it's true.
What are we going to do?
And
you know,
it's you can't overstate the impact Animax left. And Animax was behind. It was on premium, so it was behind. I recall it was I think $40. Behind a $40 cable paywall, but it's pretty much exploded anime's popularity in the whole country.
Yeah.
This is something behind a $40 a month paywall on a channel that you had to fight with your parents to watch.
Yeah.
You know, but it was that popular. So imagine what something behind a $9, $7 paywall would be if we just had access to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's all we want, the access.
Yeah, because I mean we're willing to pay. I feel like a lot of people in Zambia have Netflix, and we thank God for Netflix because they've actually helped us watch a lot of anime legitimately, but at the end of the day they don't have everything, because even the Studio Ghibli roster is not complete on Netflix. You know, there's no Grave of the Fireflies here, and just another few titles. I mean, it's not there.
It's not.
And you know, we don't have access to, I think, is there anime on HBO? I think there's 30. I'm not too sure. And that's the thing, like, we in Africa are so aware of all your streaming platforms in America. We're so aware of them, but we can't access them in our regions. We have no access to Hulu, I believe.
No, we don't.
We don't have access to Hulu.
Even
I think
HBO.
Yeah,
people
no access to
HBO to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Imagine.
and it's so sad. You know, people, we want to give you our money. I know that Game of Thrones, I know HBO has like a deal with MultiChoice, but you don't understand how expensive DSTV is. DSTV is Zambia's cable site. In case there's people that don't know what I'm talking
It's
about.
currently, I think, $75 a month for premium.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like much,
but for
our
us in the
exchange
third world,
is...
guys, it's a lot of money. Like, do you want to pay your rent or watch TV? You have to make a choice. You know, do you want transport for the week or do you want to watch DSTV? You know? So, yeah, I think we only have Amazon Prime and Netflix available in our region at the moment. And yeah, you know, I get it. There's some people who take the extreme view that if you can't have access to anime, then you don't deserve it. You know what I mean? And there's people that are, no, it's wrong. It's taken out of the mouths of the people who create this content for you. And I'm like, yeah, totally. I understand and I respect that. But at the same time, we are hungry for that content. If you gave us the opportunity, we would pay for that content. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Genuinely, a lot of us would sacrifice to pay for that content. And then there's people in the middle who understand where people are coming from. Like, I mean, if you live in America, I don't expect you to use sites like KissAnime, you know, or to torrent your anime. But I totally understand if you're from the third world.
If you're in America and you're using, say, a KissAnime site to watch, because Crunchyroll has free...
Yeah, it has free.
With ads, right? At the beginning and the end. But if you decide to watch that same show on KissAnime, you have to click all those intrusive ads. It's a headache. It feels like you're giving yourself more of a headache than just going to Crunchyroll and watching the thing with an ad at the beginning and ad at the end. Like,
and Funimation too.
Yeah, just watch on YouTube or whatever. Like, use the legal free sites that are available. And if you have to, because I know you can watch stuff for free on some of them. They roll out like a catalog of like stuff. Like say, I know Toradora is currently free on. There's I think it's Crunchyroll or something. Like they give away batches like for a few months. This thing's free and you can watch the whole thing. So honestly, there's a lot of content that you can watch for free. And going to a pirate site which is more intrusive with ads doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like people use that same context and place it on us and say, why aren't you just going to Crunchyroll? And it's like, dude, for a long time there, no My Hero Academia, and I think Attack on Titan season 1 and 2 were not available either. Yeah. I think this newest season on which finally had global
I don't even think we have access to Haikyuu. I remember I wanted to start watching Haikyuu. Bins. So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, that's like, it's really frustrating when people fail to be empathetic. They don't really understand how tough it is to not have access, and it's not for the lack of trying or the lack of wanting, because even like DVDs, we have to buy them at the same price you guys buy them, and then we have to pay shipping costs on top of that, which is usually double. So if the DVD costs $15, it will probably cost us an extra $10 to ship it in. So we're spending way more, so which is why we end up,
and not even just custom. It's hard, guys. It's so hard. You know, I know that these illegal sites do damage the industry, but I feel if the industry itself understood that they need to make it accessible, it would make a huge difference. Because I remember the whole debate. I think it was over 10 years ago. There was a debate about pirating music, and people noticed that they did a survey. I don't know how they did the survey, but they did a survey where they said that I think a very high percentage of the people who pirated the music went on to buy the actual music. So it's like people will try and test to see if they like the thing. If they don't have the, you know, if they're not able to sample, because it was before you could post music on YouTube and all those things and watch music videos or whatever. But they understood that, okay, people just want to have the opportunity to sample.
It's access.
Yeah, it's access, you know. So truly, us as nerds, the nerd community, we don't go out to the clubs often, you know. We don't go anywhere, period. So most of the money that we reserve, we use it to buy internet bundles. But I feel like if you gave us the opportunity, like Dennis said, to like spend like $10 on like Crunchyroll, which has everything. Or Funimation, just give it. Funimation is free, guys, to our friends. That's it. I never paid. It's not like it wasn't on YouTube Premium or anything. I just used to open Funimation. I binged the whole Oran High School, I think 3 times, because it was just there for me. And it's just so frustrating. I think you can't even go to, in Zambia, we can't even go to the Funimation website.
Yes, I was going to say that, like, the site is actually blocked.
Yeah, it's actually blocked. It's like completely blocked. And like we said, VPNs are not a viable option for us.
It's also just a hassle. Like, why do I have to do that?
Yeah, you know, like it's not easily accessible. And I know everyone seems to have all the answers for everything. Maybe boo-hoo, we should just go and, you know, rub our sticks together in the village because we're in the third world. Don't expect us to be into anything that the Western world is into. But at the end of the day, we're here and we want to consume these things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention something. So in terms of access, like you mentioned about the piracy thing, I always bring this up. I know it's really tired. Like if you know me, you probably heard me say this 100 times. But Gabe Newell, the CEO of Valve, the guys who own Steam, and they made Half-Life and Portal, whatever. When they made Steam, his whole thing was like, our biggest competitor is like with piracy, it's not like price or whatever, it's just access and ease of use. People will be on Steam if I make it easier to play or buy the games than it is to pirate the PC games.
Yes.
And if you've ever pirated a PC game, you know it's a hassle. You have to go to the torrent site, you have to make sure that it's legitimate, you download it, you get a crack, you put the crack in the whatever. It's a whole thing. But if you go to Steam and you just press buy and then you press play, that's literally all you do. You buy and you play, 2 buttons.
Yeah. And there's also so many sales, guys.
That's the thing. And you know, like PC games, I remember in the past when you had discs, showing my age here, when you had to put the disc in and then it's like, oh, it's installed disc 1, move the disc, put disc 2, if you put disc 3, you've messed it up, you have to restart the process again. Playing PC games legitimately using discs was a hassle as well. Like you actually had to have some form of a little bit of IT knowledge. You could mess it up. It was frustrating a little bit. But with Steam, I could tell my grandma, go to Steam, download it, press buy, then press play, and you play the game. That's all you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about drivers or any of that nonsense. It's just simple.
Yeah.
If I tell you right now to go to Steam and buy Among Us, and all you have to do is buy and play, as opposed to say going to a pirate site. First of all, I have to tell you what pirate site to go to. I have to tell you which one has the most seeds. Then you have to get a crack. Like that's a whole process. Which one is easier for you to do? You know, and that's where the piracy thing stands. Even with the anime thing, is like all we want is ease of access. Even if it's behind a paywall, if it's easier for us to go to Crunchyroll and press play and we're seeing the thing, as opposed to having to go to a VPN or you know, even torrenting anime is a bit of a hassle.
It's a hassle. No one wants to do it.
So,
like, we want to be able to stream. Like, yes, we do have internet here. We can stream. You know, at the end of the day, like, people underestimate the fact that people are willing to pay for convenience. If you make it convenient, we will pay for it.
It's true. It's why
we will find a way.
It's why Uber exists. It's why all these, people delivering groceries to my home. We are paying for convenience.
So it's, I mean, the fact that we are willing to pay for Netflix and we don't even have access to
everything.
It speaks volumes. Like, thank God for Netflix, man. They really come through sometimes, because they have helped me introduce my nieces and nephews to anime, because they have both dub and sub, and
also just general access. I remember I mentioned this, although Shade shut it down and said that's not necessarily true. I said I thought One Punch Man was pretty weird on the spectrum of like anime. I thought would go mainstream. One Punch Man was very mainstream here. Like, people who I didn't ever think would watch anime saw One Punch Man, and I'm like, that's strange. I thought it was strange,
because it's kind of like satire.
Yeah, but like, I feel like if it wasn't on Netflix, if it wasn't so simple, like all you had to do was just go on, like, oh, there's this thing called One Punch Man, I just have to click on it and watch it. But if I tell someone, watch, I don't know, Made in Abyss, but it's hard to watch it, like they either have to go to a pirate site or whatever, they won't watch it.
Now that KissAnime is gone, they have to now start looking for the rest of the other upload sites, which there are many. Good luck trying to find them. But at the end of the day, guys, we just want access to these things, eh? We just want to, it's just, we want the one click treatment. And I think this is also another problem with manga as well. Manga is so hard to find legitimately. I mean, not just hard copy, even the digital ones. I know that there's a site called Bookwalker that has English, like legitimately English translated manga, and you pay for it, but I'm not too sure how its access is here. I need to do my research, but sites like the Kiss crew knew that people want this thing, and I feel like if the anime industry or the people who deal with the anime industry in like the other offices, like in America or whatever, because I know that they do the English dubs in like they put offices. It's like, if they really were paying attention to what was on the ground, I think they would understand that people are not just trying to steal. People really just want to enjoy and be a part of the community,
True.
Yeah.
And I think some executives might make the case like, oh, there's no audience, maybe we've tried once and it wasn't there or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like a cycle.
Yeah.
If you don't actually give us access, the so-called audience won't show itself.
Yeah.
Even though we who are here know it exists, but someone has to start. We can't start, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to start.
Yeah, someone has to, like that secret Zambian who put the name Kabwe in what's that show?
Oh, in that anime.
In Black Clover.
Yeah.
You, secret Zambian, can you please talk to your boss? And you need to give us access to these things, man. Like, we're willing to do it. We know that there's over 1,000 people in Zambia alone that love anime. So what about the rest of Africa? In SA, they have huge conventions for anime, for just nerd culture in general. Like, we are here. I know the only thing people see about Africa are like the starving children in Somalia, or that's all they see. So they think like that's the way the whole of Africa looks. But we have infrastructure. A lot of us have been exposed through DSTV, Animax, so we know this thing. We want access to it. We have access to the internet. We see trailers. We see YouTubers talking about it. But we also want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just throw us a bone, guys. Throw us a bone. Even if, I'm telling you, if there was someone smart, someone hardworking, if they said, let me make the first legal streaming site for anime in Africa only,
that would make a lot of money.
You would make free advice. Free advice. You would make money. You would make a lot of money if you could just guarantee
That you have the full catalog.
Even like I feel like it's impossible for people because like there's like Viz Media, there's Crunchyroll and Funimation. We get it, but if you could guarantee us that you have a majority of the titles, even if you start with like the older anime, I think people would still hop onto it because you know, guys, we are here. Give us the access.
Yeah. And I'd just like to talk about the whole piracy thing. My stance for a long time, well, not for a long time, it's kind of changed over the years, but the way I kind of have been, because people would ask me a lot, like, well, you know, what's your take on, you know, pirating games or pirating anime? Like, how do you feel about it, etc. And for me, you know, I was a broke teenager at one point, so the only access I had to some of this stuff was piracy. I was lucky enough to have DSTV, so I'd watch some of this stuff through that. But like, if I don't have access to that, I'll pirate. But over, you know, because I was in college in Australia, so I had access to, even they have limited stuff, but it was still a lot.
Yeah.
So seeing how much access they had, and then coming back and being, wow, we really are starved, and or no, they don't really care about us. To be fair, to be blunt, they don't care about us as a region. We don't count.
Yeah.
So
look at the servers on gaming sites.
So how I look at it is, if they are not marketing to me, I don't count on their balance sheet.
Yeah.
I don't count as a loss or a gain.
Yeah.
I say pirate. They don't care. They clearly don't. You know, like if I say I make a budget or whatever to say, oh, in this fiscal year we should make $1 million, and then I disregard a whole other demographic and say, oh, women over the age of 50 won't buy my thing. But if I added them, I'll make an extra $1 million.
Like, they don't even do the market research.
Right?
I feel, yeah.
So if the older women pirate my product, I'm not losing out on anything because I never counted on them as a market anyway.
Yeah.
That is how I look at it now. I still buy most of my stuff, but when someone asks me, what's your take on piracy? That's what I always say. Until these guys start to count us as a region or as a market, then I'll be like, you know what, good, now let me support you. You count me as a market, and you can tell when someone really is marketing towards it. You can really tell. I mean, when someone wants to sell you something, it's not hard, you know, like if I want to tell you something, you will know, because I want you to give me money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what did I want to say? Like, I think in that same vein, what you're saying is why VPNs are not a good idea, because we're gonna be showing, if all of us in Zambia, even if we had the money to pay for these VPNs like ExpressVPN and Friends, if we had the money to pay for them, we'll be showing that our region is either UK, Japan, America. So they would never really see the market. They would never see us the same way. We have to buy stuff. We have to buy stuff from Amazon UK. We have to buy stuff from Amazon US. So even if we buy things legitimately, if we buy manga legitimately from there, if we buy you know, DVDs legitimately from there, we still have to send them through a courier who will first have to send it to the UK and address in the UK, and it will still look like the sales are coming from Europe or America, you know. I agree,
and with that same point, that kind of digressing, that, you know, we're talking about, say, you know, video games, because these new consoles are coming out. When you look at the highest selling games for the Europe market, it's like FIFA. It's very, for lack of a better word, African centric games that I know are very popular here. So I know, well, let me understand that I know, I have a feeling that at least 30, maybe 40% of the sales for games in Europe, when you look at the NPD sales for Europe, I'm very sure at least half or some 40% is Africa.
Yeah.
Because we have to go through Europe and then send it over here. So then the producers are looking at it and saying, oh, we've got a great region. You know, Europe is doing well when it's actually Africa.
Us, you know? So, because even on our consoles, on our PlayStations, our Switches, our Xboxes, we have to use other regions, otherwise we won't be able to have access to certain games. Like, we're paying for them legitimately, but if we have them, if we have our actual region there, we won't have access to the games. And it just, I don't know what licensing issues, I don't know if our government fights with you about morals. Like, we don't understand why certain content is not available in Africa. I don't know if it's the fact that they feel too lazy to research, because I know it costs a lot of money to get lawyers to research the laws in distribution laws in different regions. So I guess like Africa, I mean, if we pay our lawyer $100,000 to do research on the laws in here, I think it's going to be a loss, because there probably aren't even going to be enough Africans to give us back that 100K plus extra. You know what I mean? I feel like that may be the reason why a lot of things are not available here. Like the same reason why for a very long time we couldn't access Vivo. Like a lot of songs on Vivo on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we couldn't watch music videos legitimately because it wasn't available in Africa. You know?
Region locking is so dumb. I'm so glad that physical media has kind of died down on region locking. People forget that with DVDs, there were some DVDs that were like for a region. Do you recall that? Like you put it in, it's like it's
even music
region whatever. It's like, why? Slowly that's kind of gone away. You know, like most Blu-rays are like origin and all that stuff now. And I get why they exist. Like with anime, because Blu-ray sales count for big sales in Japan, but the way they sell them is very aggressive. They put like 2 episodes in one Blu-ray disc, imagine, and then they release them, I think like 6 or 4 months after it airs on TV. So they want to sell their Blu-rays, and then when they finish selling their Blu-rays, then now they license them to international audiences, and then we don't put 2 episodes on a Blu-ray. That's a rip-off. We put the whole season. So what the Japanese companies are afraid of is, if they license that stuff out quickly to the international audiences, the Japanese people won't buy those 2 discs. Yes, it's better to just import because it's no longer region locked. So that's why they used to region lock in the first place. So it's really just bad business practices that are kind of blocking some of these things. Even licensing deals for streaming, I feel, I notice when I look at it on Crunchyroll, it's like Europe, America, South America, Southeast Asia, and then South Africa is its own region, and then there's the rest of Africa. So if you have global rights, you get all those things, but then there's some shows which just have, say, Europe and Southeast Asia or something. Just weird like demarcations.
And I know that Crunchyroll is not available in Japan for that same reason that you mentioned, because in Japan they very much still buy DVDs, CDs. They still very much buy physical copies of their entertainment. So they haven't really gotten into the whole streaming thing. They still buy DVD players, they still buy laser discs. So that's why they don't really allow, you know, like if I hear a lot of people complain that even like Netflix in Japan doesn't have like anime. You know, it doesn't have a lot of stuff because they still believe in the whole DVD culture. So if stuff like that was to go online for them, it would have to be like months and months and months after they've made their money from physical sales, you know. So
so I understand the business side of it, but that doesn't mean it erases my experience as a
don't make
consumer.
Nice things. Like if you don't want us to make the stuff, don't make it. Let's all lose and just be bored, you know. It's just so frustrating.
The main take I'll get from this is, if you have access to this stuff, don't be so judgmental or harsh on people who are in what is known as the global south. You know, using sketchy sites. It's like, it's not because we want to, it's because literally that's the only option. And you know, going on a moral high horse, you know, it's like there's an example someone gave though, like it's like going to the market where there are beggars with your fancy food and fancy clothes, and then like shouting at them like, why are you so dirty, you know, why don't you just go and buy food from here? And it's like, dude, you have that, like, how tone deaf can you be? Like, just don't do that.
Seriously, in the topics for this whole KissAnime debate, like some people's privilege really be showing. Like I watched a couple of videos and I've never rolled my eyes so hard. I felt like I literally was partially blind because people were just like, well, I feel like you just need to, if you really are fans of the industry, you should really just try and find a way to like this, guys. Like, I can't deal with these people that don't understand. Guys, you colonized us. You taught us English. You brought us your things that are fun. So why don't you want to give us your fun things?
Which we want to pay for.
Which we want to pay for. Even though we barely have money. Like, I'm not buying alcohol so that I can pay for Netflix. I'm sacrificing here. I'm willing to sacrifice. So can we meet halfway? At least give us something, someone that please share this video. If this is the only video you share from this Otaku thing, share this video. Please get this to some big, rich African billionaire, millionaire who can make this happen. Someone in tech, someone who has ties in like Japan or America. Like, can we get this African streaming service going? I beg of you, please.
True. I'll back that.
Yeah, truly. I don't even want royalties. Just do it. I'll be your biggest customer. Like, just do it, please. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much everything I had to say on that.
Yeah, me too.
Very much a rant video.
Yeah, we were basically just ranting because I was just so sick and tired of this narrative, you know? Like, like, we are fans. We do want to support the industry. We want to buy the manga. We want to buy the anime. We want to literally, like, we can't even, guys, we don't have PayPal in Africa. Okay? We don't have PayPal here. Well, in Zambia we don't have it. I don't know about the other countries. We don't have Payoneer in Zambia. So we can't pay your Patreons. We can't support you because
you blocked us
from supporting you. Should we take the money to the embassy? We can take the money there. We can take the money to the embassy. We can write our names on a paper so that you give us access to the things that we want. You know? So, like, yeah, basically. Thank you for listening to our rant. Well, thank you for listening to our TED Talk.
Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. Yeah. I hope something can be done.
Yeah.
I think topics like this need to be talked about more by people with different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they can be seen by so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get word from people in different regions to see how they deal with this, what their opinions are, and like how they go around it and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.